Merge with me. Don't you love that? I love how that's a 30-second animated intro. And the last video I did, that one guy said, your animated intro is 8 minutes long. That's how wonderfully brilliant the internet is. Even when it attempts to be humorous and sarcastic, you end up being idiotic and stupid. Of course, welcome. Gotcha. People were upset, I think, the last one when I was. See, the thing is, the internet doesn't understand the fact that if I'm not in love with a movie, doesn't mean I absolutely hate it. I just didn't love it. And that was the case with Spider-Man Across the Universe. I think I still want to go back and say I probably want to go back and see it, but I'm probably going to give it a little bit of a breather. That I liked every minute of it, except there was too many minutes of it, kind of a thing. Excuse me, I still have a little bit of a cough. Welcome to this live stream where we hang out and chat. Say hi in the chat, and we'll put you up on screen. So I guess a couple of things. Let's talk about what I did see this week. I was invited to the preview night of the theater that I've been doing plays for. I'm not in this current production, but they invited us all out to do the watch the preview, which is the one before. How you doing, Adriano? Blah blah blah. And I got to go see The Wedding Singer, which is a musical version of the movie, the Adam Sandler movie. Now here's the thing: I've never seen the Adam Sandler movie, so and I didn't know anything about the show, and I went and saw it, and I really, really enjoyed it, and it actually not convinced me, but it made me want to watch the movie. So I did. So I went on Amazon and I rented the Wedding Singer, and I got to watch this, The Wedding Singer, and it took me back to an era where, like, there hasn't really been, like, just straight, fair romantic comedies in a long time. Like, just straight, fun romantic stories. Like, when's the last time a romantic movie has come out that's just straight up romantic movie that has kind of gotten popular acclaim, I guess? It's been a while, right? I mean, I just am not familiar with the movies that the movies I'm a little more familiar with are more what you call it, jaded. How you doing, real Aaron Collins? Welcome to the live stream. The movies like 500 Days of Summer, which is not really a love story. I mean, it's sort of more jaded version of a love story. So most of the stuff I've seen as far as in the romantic category are not just like straight up love stories, just kind of straight down the fairway style love stories. But I went back and I watched it, and I gotta admit, I really did enjoy it. It made me feel like a part of my life's been missing from that, not having that, that just classic love story. Sometimes the classic romantic comedy does have certain elements in it that are coming at you super hard and fast. The complications, right? Like, you can never have the guy and the girl admit that they like each other, or they love each other, or they care about each other. No, what happens is, one guy always has to have the impression that that she doesn't really like him, and she's always got the impression that he's unavailable. It's always got to be complicated. It's always got to be complications. Got to always have the complications in there. So, all right, 14 viewers are getting on there. My best friend's wedding was pretty romantic, by the way. I was an extra in that. Oh, pretty cool. When was my best friend's wedding? When did that come out? Hold on, there it is. Put that up there. When did my best friend's wedding come out? Best friend's wedding. That was a while ago, right? Oh, geez, 1997. Yeah, I mean, we're talking 20 years ago. What you call it? The Wedding Singer was, I think, 98. So I was reading up, as I tend to do every time I do any kind of like deep dive into these movies. So I guess The Wedding Singer was written by Adam Sandler's longtime writing collaborator, and it's interesting in the kind of the filmography of Adam Sandler movies. We might as well pull it up here so I can see, so I make sure I'm getting it right here. Adam Sandler, first started. Let's get a list going here. And IMDb will probably be. I don't know. I've kind of gotten to hate IMDb because it's hard to find what you're looking for in here. But let's see if we can get it as a see all. So going back to like 90. The first movie, let's say the first Adam Sandler movie you would want to call it, would be like Billy Madison, then Happy Gilmore, and then Wedding Singer comes out, and it's like so. I think Adam Sandler kind of developed this whole like man child kind of thing with Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and then the Wedding Singer kind of comes out of there because it's kind of an offset of his personality. He's not playing this man child. He's playing more of a normal straight male lead. Then follows that up with the Water Boy, Big Daddy, Little Nicky. So it's sort of like a little bit of a diversion that comes back to that. Anyhow. But I mean, it's considered one of his. I believe it's considered of the Adam Sandler sort of movies. It's one of the higher rated ones, if not the highest rating one. And of course, the ones that are really highly rated are the ones where he's not like the director or the editor, like Punch Drunk Love, and of course Uncut Gems, which are both fantastic movies. I really should go back and rewatch Punch Drunk Love because I remember that movie had a huge effect on me as a kid. As a younger kid, I guess, I wasn't a kid, but like I was, I love that movie. I absolutely adored that movie. Paul Thomas Anderson for the win there. All right, so that's what I saw. I watched The Wedding Singer, both the play and the movie. I thought the play was done really well. As a trumpet player, I will say the trumpet was not loud enough. That's a mix thing, I think. I think they could have put him more in the mix, but that's, as a trumpet player, that's me. And then I guess the other musical front, I spent a lot of time trying to scan in my my music book for the next show I'm going to be doing, which is The Little Mermaid, here in next month. And I'm doing that locally in my town rather than having to drive like 20, 30 minutes away. I'm discovering some things with Adobe Scan that you do need to require a steady hand and a lot of light and really focus your camera to get Adobe Scan to give you the best results. So definitely got to do that. All right, what else did I put on there? Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about was I'm really, really disappointed with Google. Like Google, you'd think Google would be, you'd think that Google would have been like a one of those too big to fail companies, right? You think Google's like, oh, you want to talk about a company that's so massive on the internet that everything is, I don't expect them to go away, right? Well, no, Google has really been an absolute horrible shit show lately, I guess. Not lately, perhaps not lately, but I would say, probably in the last couple years, it's really gone downhill for Google. It really has. So here's the story. I have a Google Workspace account with Filmmaker IQ and Google. And up until, I would say about 2 or 3 years ago, they gave people who had the originally called G Suite, and then became Google Workspaces and all that. But if you paid for 5 users, then you had unlimited Google Drive space. And I thought, great, I want to keep on this because I have unlimited drive space. I can use it as a daily backup. I can back up all my jobs, all my work to it. And at least I have a safe backup in the cloud for it, right? Okay, so that's all good and well until about a month or so ago. So like May, all of a sudden I get hit with this warning on my Gmail account saying, hey, you don't have enough space. I've got literally probably like 90 terabytes at that point, 90 terabytes online of just, videos that I've shot, raw footage, projects, and all that stuff I've been backing up. So 90 some terabytes of data. And then they're saying, well, you only have 25 terabytes. So I always, I thought that they figured they grandfathered us in, kept us on. No, so I called them. I said, hey, what's going on? No, I emailed them, their chat. I said, what's going on? And they said, oh, can we get on the phone with you? And they get on the phone with me. And it's obviously somebody from an Indian call center, but they speak very good English, and they're very polite and very, very helpful. So then they're saying, don't worry, John, you still have unlimited space. This is just something that our team upstairs is working on. Don't worry. You're all good for now. You're all good. All right. I was like, okay. And then then a week goes by and I still see these warnings. So I chat him back and say, hey, what's going on? You haven't dealt with this. Oh, don't, You get on the phone like I need some writing here that you guys actually say I have unlimited storage, because I'm not trusting them, right? They get on the phone with me again. Oh, don't worry. You've got unlimited storage. Don't worry about it. It's all good. You're all good. You're going to be fine. And then this list a month goes by till we get to about present day. I chat with them again. Why have you not dealt with this thing? This is, when we're going on many, many months, I'm paying for the Google service, and I'm paying like $100 a month now. And they say, oh no, no one has unlimited storage on Google anymore. No one has any. You need to like shave your stuff down. Like, okay, at this point, I'm kind of pissed off. So I'm yelling at them on chat, just saying like, you guys lied to me. You guys literally told me not to worry for a month. Not to worry, I have unlimited storage. Not to worry, I have unlimited storage. And now you're saying, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have unlimited storage. You need to get your stuff off. Get your shit off of Google Drive. And I'm furious. I am so pissed off at Google. Like, come on. I've got 90 terabytes. 90 terabytes, this is Google we're talking about. This is supposed to be, Google's like the largest internet company on the face of the planet, right? And they don't have an unlimited service. Seems absolutely ridiculous. So I'm in the process right now of moving my stuff to Dropbox. Wing It Productions is saying Dropbox is the jewel. Yeah, Dropbox is where I'm going. Yeah, Dropbox is, I looked around at all the different options out there. I think the Sync was the closest one, but Dropbox to me felt the most like reliable. And oh, there you go. $100 I pay for rent, nice big house. Oh, dang, that's nice in Brazil. Wish I could be you. Physical media, bro. I don't trust physical media though. The problem with physical media is I'm always concerned that I'll put it on physical media and then it won't work when I plug it back in. Now, I guess nowadays with SSDs, it's probably a little bit more safer than it has been in the past. But I've got a bookcase literally full of hard drives, right? Because back then, those days, those hard drives are I've got like 500 gigabyte drives and stuff like that. I've got literally a whole case of hard drives, and I at least 10 of them have failed over the years. So I don't trust physical media, honestly. Like, I don't trust it. But then again, I don't know. I keep looking at I was just this morning, I was on Reddit and I was trying to help somebody out with a problem they had. And I just happened to go on Amazon. I found 1 terabyte SSD drives for like $35. That's pretty tempting there if I want to do some physical backup. I think for some projects, maybe physical backup would be also another on top of the cloud. So basically, here is my backup situation. Is what I've devised of a backup situation. So I've got a Drobo, which is I think out of business now. So another dangerous thing. But I've got a Drobo that makes a mirror of my hard drive here at the office. It mirrors my work drive. So I've got a mirror of that, and then I want to keep a copy on. Used to be Google Drive, but I want to keep a live copy on Dropbox. So that way I've got a physical here and in the cloud. And if my computer goes down, it goes down. I've got 2 copies. I'm safe, right? And the idea is, okay, once I've finished a project, I will delete it from my office drive. And in Dropbox, I'll just leave it there because it's going to be unlimited. I'll leave it there in case I ever need it. And then the Drobo, eventually I'll go back and clean it out every once in a while. That's the plan, right? Now, again, I might introduce the idea of putting a physical media in there. So when I'm done with the project, maybe I throw it on a $35 SSD drive and put it in the closet, that kind of thing. So that's maybe the proper way to do it. But, Blu-ray burning? No, man. Blu-rays are done. There you go. SSDs are just to write, put there, and leave it, never erase or try to write again. You have a bad surprise? Is that what you're saying? But you trust the cloud, aka somebody else's computer. Yeah. Well, the cloud, the difference is the cloud, my understanding is it's not just one computer. It's literally hundreds of computers, and it's a whole network of things. And they're all securing the drive. It's not just one computer. Thoughts on tape? Too expensive. Like tape is just too expensive for me to just jump up and get tape, because I'm just one dude. Like, if I was a larger company, and I had more data to and more regular data and just more stuff to back up, then tape would probably works and make sense. But tape as a one person outfit is sort of just too expensive to start doing, right? I mean, I'm not sure. Are there solutions for tape right now? Let's take a look. LTO tape. Oh, come on. LTO tape. TO tape. Let's see here. I mean, I might be wrong on that. Well, I don't know. So tape store forever. Like, there's a couple of the decks start off at about $1,400, and then the tapes themselves are about $120. But how much is it? How much do you get for that? Uh, oh, so 18 terabytes. That's not bad. It's not bad at all for 120 bucks or so. But yeah, I mean, the thing also too is the reason why I want to store some of the stuff is because a client might come back and need to restart the project or do something else with the project. I like to just be able to retrieve parts of it, you know. So, but one thing I did do was I did get rid of all my coronavirus messaging content. So I figured that's never going to be useful. I still want to keep all the finals, the final videos I'll keep, but all the raw footage from all that stuff, that can go on. So I did cut down 90 terabytes down to about 67, and I had to up my Google storage by another 2 users, another $40 a month to get up to 60 terabytes. I might have to go a little more just so I can get free and clear while I make this transfer over to Dropbox. And Dropbox, comparatively, I'm spending $90 a month for Dropbox to have 3 users to have unlimited storage. So that's what's going on with that. That's the fun stuff. What else are you guys saying? Yeah, so yeah, that's the situation with the storage. And right now, like, I should just kind of walk away, because I have this program called Good Sync. I really love this program, Good Sync. Basically, what it does is it's an automated program that can just sync up any 2 drives. It doesn't matter if it's a cloud or if it's a physical drive or anything. So it's really useful for if you want to shepherd things around on hard drives and physical hard drive. Like, you can just set your project to mirror. So anytime you make an edit on one side, it mirrors the other side. If you edit the hard local drive, it mirrors back. Either way, it's great for doing that. And it's great for doing backups. So you can set up on a timer. So every 3 hours, it checks and it puts stuff back into the drive or so. So it's really useful for transferring stuff. So right now I've got Google Good Sync transferring all my stuff from my computer right now onto Dropbox. And surprisingly, I think we've already accomplished at least 3 terabytes in about a day. So not too bad, not too shabby. I'm at my office here, and I've got 700 megabits up, and I use about 500, 3 to 500 to do this backup stuff. Dropbox, I don't think, will take any more than that. And that's why I'm still streaming to you guys. So, and the quality looks pretty decent. So that's what's going on. That's as far as how I do the backup. Here's a good question. All right. Pull that up here. Hello, John. Hi, official Pube Modification Center. I'm not sure I should have read that. All right. Tips on what stuff to keep versus drop. I like 5 years of footage on hard drives in case things getting bigger every month. Makes me feel mad. Yeah. So when I was on limited storage, I would say keep all of it. Keep all of it. I think my take is going to be more like keep all finished projects, like all finished videos should always just keep it. Doesn't matter. You got to pay for footage. You got to pay for a hard drive. Keep the hard drive, just keep it all. And then as far as, like the projects, you get to make a judgment call. Like, I think like the coronavirus stuff, Like I just got rid of all of that. I don't think anybody is going to go back and say, "Hey, we want to revisit our June 22nd, 2020 coronavirus messaging video." Like, nah, that's gone. I mean, as I said, I'll keep the finals just for reference, but not the actual raw files. Um, I don't know stuff. Also, stuff like I've only shot like 6 weddings in my life now, but I don't really want to toss any of that footage. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's like, oh, I don't know if I want to toss the raw footage of a wedding. You know, because it might be useful in the future or handy, or somebody might want to come back and say, hey, you have, you know. I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit harder to justify throwing that away. Some corporate stuff. Again, corporate stuff is different because like a corporation might come back and say, "Hey, we want to do another video. Do you have the raw footage that we shot? We have, we want to take the product shots that we did before." So in that case, you want to kind of keep all that stuff around. So it's a tough call. Like, what do you want to keep versus what you want to just recycle, toss out again. I don't know. I feel like I want to keep all the stuff that I can't replace. Like some corporate stuff. You're like, well, I can just shoot more footage, and be better footage, right? But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of I couldn't tell you exactly what to keep and what. I mean, the easy answer is to keep all of it, but that's kind of a hard nut to sell too. All right, what else is going on? So yeah, that's my moving terabytes story. Still going on. I think I may need to update my Dropbox because I put it on this trial. And I think they only give you 3 terabytes for the trial. So I need to tell them, hey, I'm going to pay for it. Let's bump me up. Get me up there. Get me up as far as the data rate. And also for like Dropbox, I find I find Google Drive. I found Google Drive really useful, but Dropbox is going to be. I don't think I'm moving everything over to Dropbox. Because once I move everything over, I'm going to start whittling down my Google exposure because I can't divorce myself completely from Google because I use Gmail and all that stuff like pretty religiously. So but what I do find extremely useful is having all client stuff via Dropbox or Google. I really do like the new Adobe implementation of like Frame.io and stuff like that. I may need to up my Frame.io. I need to probably buy their plan because I really do love like sending clients videos through Frame.io and have them being able to download them on there as well. But I did use Dropbox a lot or Google Drive at the point. Like for my music, I have a couple musical groups that are near me, the symphonies and stuff like that. And I've literally got like 5 or 6 years of their recordings, all just on Google Drive. And I think that's cool. I think they underutilize it. I think they underutilize the fact that it's all there. The entire library of everything I've ever recorded for them is available at any time. But I like that, and I mean that's not that bad of an investment, because I think each concert's like 20 gigabytes of footage or finished footage. Because what I'll do is I'll make a long one file which includes every single song and all the inter musical explanations and all that, and then I'll cut up each individual track as its own video. So it's about 12 gigs for the long video, and then less than that, 10 gigs for each track. I mean, or add it all together, each track would be about 10 gigs. Anyhow, exciting stuff. What are we saying? All right, let's respond to your comments. Rigel's here. Rigel 7's here. The bimbos will come out. Dave's hot chicken. That's what I'm drinking. Yeah. I think Dropbox. I just feel like Dropbox is more designed. Dropbox as a company, they are designed to handle data, whereas Google feels like they're not really interested in being a data helping you with data. They want to just, I don't know, they want to just advertise to you basically. They want to like they want to advertise to you and then give you sponsored ads for everything, and not give you actually get you what you're searching for. Because if you want to search for anything, the most annoying thing, I will say, hey Google, okay, I will say, Google, I'm trying to call my dentist. My dentist is actually called Posh Dental. All right, John, right? His name is I forget. Dang it, I forget his name. Sorry if you're watching. My dentist, Joshua Lang. I say call my dentist, and then it will say calling, and then I answer okay, hello, hi. I'd like to schedule an appointment. I've got an account with you. I want to schedule an appointment for so and so. Say, okay, what's your name? John Hess. Oh, we don't have you in the system. I'm like, wait a second. Which dentistry are you? Oh, we're so and so dentistry in a completely other city. Like, come on, Google. I Googled my dentist's name and I hit call the first number I saw, and it was another dental office because it had nothing. It didn't even the same name, completely different. Because Google is just run by people that want your ad money. That's all it is. All it is. Yeah, my local storage only. My upload is way too slow. So I have the same problem at home, but I have an office, and if you manage to pay for a business internet service, like residential internet service, they give you the slowest upload speeds. It's ridiculous. My home's upload speed's like I don't know, 10 megabits up. It barely. Here at the office, I'm paying like $90 a month, $100 a month for internet service, and I get 700 up and 700 down. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, if you can swing a business internet, that's how you can actually do the web cloud backup process. Otherwise, yeah, don't bother. I mean, even then though, like to mirror my entire drive right now is going to take me about 4 days. So I'm not bad. 4 days is not terrible. Oh yeah. So another point I was going to say about this was, in my process of trying to find a way to migrate stuff from Google to Dropbox, I found one company that does migration, and they wouldn't give me a quote online. They emailed me, and then they called me and said, "What do you need?" I was like, 90 terabytes moved over, and the guy kind of laughed at me. He's like, "Ha ha ha." Like, well, like, how much is it? What are we talking? What is your company? Oh, it's going to be like $30,000. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm not going with you guys. He kept trying to get me going. It's like, nah, bye. I'm not going to pay you $30,000. Like, I just have to, so I found one program called Molt Cloud, which I'm not in love with. I paid for their lifetime membership. I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but right now I'm doing local stuff first because I know that's faster. But eventually I'll do the Molt Cloud should be able to transfer stuff in the background, or I mean, it'll do, if it takes like a month to do it, it takes a month. Okay, whatever. Or it takes 2 months. I don't, as long as it just transfers over slowly but surely, trickling past. But we'll see. Hopefully, right now I think what's happening is I have what's the word for it? Saturated the API on Dropbox. I'm hitting it with like 10 different files at the same time. It's probably like not letting me hit some more from another API platform. Whatever. I'll let this finish, but then I'll try to get that Molt Cloud going and get the stuff from the cloud moved over. There we go. Have fiber at home, symmetrical, very nice for uploading speeds. Absolutely. Wingit uses Dropbox only for working between locations. As far as storage, it sits there as a third option. Yep, there you go. $100 a year, that's a pretty good deal. John is ignoring the toilet seat. No, I'm not. I'm just ignoring your toilet seat. I've definitely not been ignoring the toilet seat. Anyhow. So, yeah, right now, I think, like I said, I think Dropbox thinks I'm still in the trial plan and I need to probably update, but I can't do anything till Monday, and it's like, well, stop worrying about it. Because honestly, so my head has not been good in the last week and a half. I came off of the musical and finishing up the school and finishing up a large project for a school district. And I just kind of like, my brain just was done for a while. So right now I'm kind of like sitting there staring at the Dropbox thing and watching it and not being very productive doing other stuff. And then I've got, so the other thing I was working on, I have a 3D printer that's down right now. I thought I was going to replace it with a new kind of motherboard called an Big Tree Tech. I'm just going to name them. Fuck, F it. And I'm a technical guy. If you follow Filmmaker IQ, you've obviously know that I'm somewhat technical. You know, I talk about basic trigonometry, and one of the comments was like, he said he's going to talk about basic geometry, and then he goes into trigonometry. So I'm not afraid of a little bit of, math. But in order to get this motherboard to work with this printer, it requires you to compile firmware using Visual Studio Code. And I tried doing it, and I looked at it, and I think I got halfway through, but then I think I put it so for some reason the motherboard was not talking to the CR touch thing, which tells you the depth, and it wasn't heating up the heaters, and I couldn't figure out why. And it told me to compile some firmware, and I tried to compile some firmware, but I think I put some firmware on there, and I think it fried it. I don't know, because it stopped. Now it stopped responding to everything, and I've been playing with that for like about a week and a half or so, like on and off. I spent like an hour here, just getting annoyed tremendously with it, and to the point now I think I fried it, and I'm going to toss it in the trash. I really am, totally going to toss it into the trash. Oh, you got hit with an ad during a live stream? Cha-ching! I made some money. I don't know. I was just testing that out. So if you got hit with an ad, there you went. I'm just driving my hatred of Google for all of you to experience this wonderful Google experience. All this makes me wonder how Hollywood keeps its footage a lot. Yeah, so I think Hollywood does a lot of tape. They put a lot of data on tape. Like, it's $135 for like that Fuji LTO9 tape, barium ferrite, and it says you can hold up to 45 terabytes compressed even if 18 terabytes. I mean, Hollywood studio can just afford hundreds and hundreds of these tapes, and obviously Hollywood, has there's probably a whole, division of dealing with how to manage data. That's data, and even old film. How do you manage reels and reels of old film? It's definitely a big part of the business of trying to run a studio, is probably going to keeping those tapes and hard drives, as Rigel 7 says, tapes and hard drives stored in salt mines and caves like that. Yeah, so that's definitely, and they've got their own cloud systems too. They've got their own integrated clouds, probably for, like the idea is if you're shooting, your main production is shooting in Atlanta, and then maybe you got like a location shooting in Florida or something like that. They'll just upload every night. They'll upload their footage to the cloud, and the editor in Hollywood can actually work on it the next day, kind of a thing. So looks like official Pube Modification Center is a fellow Commonwealther. There you go. I'm not sure what that is. Is that English or is that Canadian? The new Transformers was a trash, and now waiting to see the Blackening next Friday, which I know will be a cringe fest. I don't know. Did you expect when you sat down to watch the new Transformers movie that it would be anything like butt trash? What did you expect? I mean, it's sort of one of those things, that old joke from the Arrested Development where it says "dead pigeon inside, don't open," and he opens, it's like, oh, what did I expect? So, how much, John, says the Pube Modification. Are you the same guy that came on here and wanted me to fart on the microphone? I'm not doing that. These weird folks that find my stream. That's why he's here for the stream, but he thinks it's going to be in the toilet. No, it's an internet stream, you dummy. Anyhow. So, kind of quiet on the chat today. What else is going on, guys? Scroll up and answer my questions, John Hess. Spell my name right first. I ain't no John. Jon is not me. Those are lazy John. Those Johns are lazy. They need to have an H in their name. I don't know about you. If all the people that are named John out there, did you go through a period of your life where certain people would spell your name John? Like what got into people's heads that John is spelled John? Like who the F ever spelled John John? I get John Jon as in short for Jonathan. Okay, that's a Jonathan thing. But John by itself is John. Like that's John. That's not how you spell John. I've had people. I remember it being a thing when I was in like elementary school. Like they used to do like the Valentine's Day. I don't know if they're allowed to do Valentine's Day because the idea of cis relationships that's not allowed anymore. So I don't know if you're allowed to do Valentine's, but back in my day we used to give out cards. You'd come to class and you'd have a Valentine for everybody. Like you couldn't just give a Valentine to the girl that you liked. No, you had to give it to everybody in the class. That was the rule, right? Now, for the girl you liked, you might put like an extra special little heart sign on there. Or if you're like me in middle school, you were such a terrible nerd that you wrote "I love you," but backwards, and then thinking that would probably work. Dumb. Don't do that. But yeah, no, when I was in elementary school, when I used to get Valentines, because that was the last time I ever going to get attention from a woman, or not woman, but you get opposite sex, you get what I'm saying. They would spell my name John. John. And I'm like, why? And it happened again, I think at a Starbucks. But then again, it's Starbucks, so who cares? You're always going to get your name spelled wrong. But John. Terrible. Jahan. Oh, it is this dude. It's John. It's show your big jeans. It is that dude. He's back again. Oh, there we go. So lots of people think that AI will end their careers around here. Sound people especially. Why would sound people think that? I don't think sound people. So I finally used AI in a, well, don't tell anybody, in a project for a client. Finally did it. So here's the situation. Here's what happened. I'll go ahead and say it. So I got a client of mine that it's a school district, and they are doing a lip sync competition. And it's all for charity. But they want to give me some money and just take the song and add some video to it to make it kind of fun to go as they're doing their lip sync, because they're gonna get dressed up. And the song is "Love Shack" by B-52s. And so they said, yeah, make it kind of. And I said, well, what do you want? You want something just kind of fun and goofy in the background? It's like, yeah, something cool. So I'm like, okay. Let's try. Let's see what Midjourney does. Let's see what Chat A. Well, that's Midjourney back there. But let's see what Midjourney can pull off. First, I was going to find stock footage, like stock cartoons. I wanted to find so the very beginning song, he says, "I'm driving down the Atlanta highway in my big Chevy, which is as big as a whale," right? So I go on Adobe Stock and I'm convertible, right? Trying to find a cartoon convertible that's aqua blue. Nah, not gonna find it. It's so annoyingly hard to find clip art that's of a blue convertible, like the one in the music video from Love Shack. So I'm like, chat AI, let's see what AI. I throw AI. Imagine blue classic, aqua blue classic car convertible, isolated on white, and boom, here it comes. There it is. Now, it might not be exactly a Chrysler, which is what the song calls. Who cares, right? So I got my blue cartoon. Okay, let's see another. So it says, "Don't forget to bring your jukebox money." Give me a cartoon jukebox. Pop that in. Up, cartoon jukebox. There it is. And I put that in the car. And so okay, imagine a cartoon style Love Shack, and it came up with a kind of a cool little Love Shack. I'm like, okay, cool. So I actually used AI to do this, make this little the elements for this cartoon for my little lip sync video, which obviously I didn't want super highly detailed cartoons. I just wanted something decent and good enough, and it worked. It was awesome. Now, could I have found all those assets just by searching hundreds of libraries. So I belong to Adobe Stock. I belong to Elements.envato. I love Elements.envato, by the way. I think it's one of the best values out there. I now have a subscription to Artlist.io. So I've got these three stock programs. I don't think Artlist does graphics though. So, I've got a lot of stuff. It's just sometimes you just want that cartoon of that one element, and just I think Elements is, or not Elements is AI is really, really good for that kind of stuff. Like those AI created podcasts where Joe Rogan was not really Joe. I mean, those are pretty funny. Have you ever heard of AI Beatles? Have them doing "Don't Come Easy" with John Paul never recorded? No, I never heard of that. Let's check that out. Try that. I'm not like the thing is I'm not super afraid of AI. We talked about this many streams, but I just feel it's useful in a certain like that in that case where I didn't really care that much about the quality. It's more about speed and efficiency, and being cheap. But also, I mean, I made the Love Shack, but I had to like change the lettering because it's that weird Syriac, whatever, the Russian looking lettering that it puts on everything. So I had to change that. I had to go in there and clean things up. But it was a lot easier than trying to draw one myself or find one that's already been made. So that's where I found the use. I use it as to create elements for something else, which I would animate and do all that stuff with. So the Apple headset will bring back 3D movies. I don't know. Not that price, it won't. Warren Hart's feels in the music, at least, that AI was only a threat to generic music. Yeah. Well, generic music, generic images, generic, even generic scripts, like totally, completely. If I tried, like I said, I tried to get ChatGPT to write a script, completely generic, completely unboringly generic. Tin roof, rusted. I went down, so as I do, because I was trying to do that transferring the terabytes of information, and my brain is sort of mush right now, and I just feel like I was lonely all week long because my mom hasn't been talking a whole lot, but she's doing all right. She's just, I don't know, I'm just starting to feel like alone in my house all the time now. So I just went down the rabbit hole learning about the B-52s. Like I wouldn't say I learned a lot. I just know and I learned about the lady that was it Cassandra Wilson or something like that. Her last name's Wilson, and what tin roof meant. Tin roof, rusted, and how people thought, well, tin roof does that mean she's pregnant? Is that the Southern code for pregnancy? It's like no. She's like, I just imagined this Love Shack having a tin roof, and I thought it just like came out one day, and we thought it was cool. We left it in there. I don't know. All right. Centra para decir idiotex. I like that. Decir, is that telling them about idiots? I met a couple PSMs saying they got replaced for a camera and laving up people. Adobe audio enhancement client said it's good enough or something like that. Sad, really. Well, I don't know. Maybe just got to find something different to do. What I mean by that is like, should we like, if you get a better product for less effort, should we force ourselves to put more effort in just so we can get a better product? There's always going to be I think there's always going to be a situation where the old way of doing things is going to become less efficient. So you're going to have to find new ways of doing it. Because why would we deny ourselves the efficiency of Adobe, the Adobe podcast enhancement feature? I mean, that's such a cool thing. Why would I, especially when it comes to how I'm going to teach? So right now I'm not teaching. The summer I get a break, but come back in fall, I'm going to have to teach this stuff. like I'm not going to sit back and say, well, no, you can't use Adobe Enhance. I need you to like go and use a compressor. I mean, I'm going to teach the compressor and all that stuff, but I'm going to have to show them all the stuff about, the AI cleaning up. So why would I not? Like, why would I burden my students with saying you can't use these tools because you have to learn? I might say like in this when we're doing this now, maybe this project you can't use this tool. Although I won't because it's not. I don't teach a audio only class. It's really a video grand scope of things. But why would I? Why would I? Why would I tell them not to use something? And it's going to be the way it is. It's anyhow. Like I'm definitely going to teach them about the new transcribe tool and all that stuff. Anyhow, hey Pubes, I'm not sure I'm going to follow your stuff because they got a lot of like comments and it's kind of questionable. So I don't know if I'll go back and read your comments. I for one still ride a horse with manual transmission. There you go. I for one, I for one still ride a bicycle. I for one still walk occasionally. Go walk into my. What was I walking yesterday? I walked to Costco. That's what it was. I'm paying money for a gym membership. I'm paying a lot of money for subscriptions. So did you know in QuickBooks, in my, I don't know if you guys use QuickBooks for your accounting software, if you guys are self-employed, but they definitely have added a section called subscriptions. And like, man, oh man, I've got a lot of subscriptions I pay every month for little things here and there. Like I pay for, obviously Costco membership. That's a subscription. Pay for, Adobe. I pay for Dropbox, Google now, Adobe Stock, Envato, Artlist, although I pay those annually. I got a lot of subscriptions. I pay for the movie theater, which I don't go enough. I pay for like the Regal thing. I pay for Apple Plus. I pay for HBO Max, which is now called Max. Don't you dare call them HBO Max. They are Max. I dropped Disney Plus because I hated She-Hulk, and I'm not tempted to go back. Honestly, that was so terrible. What else I pay for? Netflix. Although I don't know why am I paying for Netflix? I never opened Netflix. Anyhow. I'm not sure I get the context, but I think it's funny. Tell them about 32-bit float when you're at it. While you're at it. Ha ha ha. Exactly. To a point, we're all expendable. If you work remotely, then they could easily outsource you. That's true. That's true. You love She-Hulk, especially the twerking, actual non-trolling opinion. See, the real reason I hate She-Hulk is because I'm a copyright nerd, and that whole storyline with the copyright just pissed me the hell off. Like it inflamed me so much that I could not take it anymore. It's like, how can you be so ignorant about the copyright law? Like this makes no sense whatsoever. Like this whole storyline was so insulting to me that I couldn't take it anymore. I'm confused by Max. Are they related to Cinemax? No. Cinemax is their own thing, right? No, it was called HBO Max, and then I think what they did was they didn't want people to think it was just HBO, so they got rid of HBO. But it's also basically all of Warner Brothers stuff. Is Warner Brothers under Cinemax control or what? I'm not sure. Who owns Cinemax? Let's see if Google is not complete shit. Oh, Cinemax does own Warner Brothers Discovery does own Cinemax. I guess maybe I guess they are. Well, Cinemax was owned by the HBO Inc., which is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers. Speaking of which, I gotta do another video, another studios video, right? Because I've been getting every week I've been getting some comment saying they love a studios video. So I need to go back and actually make some more of them. Are they all related to Maxwell Smart? Absolutely. Thoughts on the Spider-Man movie incorporating things like the young YouTuber stop motion animator for a 20-second clip? Do you think we'll see more of that? I don't think so much that was a young YouTuber. I think that was more a nod to Phil and Lord. Is it Phil and Lord? Phil and Miller? Or Phil Lord Chris Miller, Phil Lord, and Chris Miller, who also did Lego Movie, right? Now, I don't know exactly. I don't know why they would, what the call is. I think to me it looked like a little of a nod to the guys that wrote the script. I think Phil Lord and Chris Miller wrote the script to Spider-Man, right? Or Across the Spider-Verse. So I feel like that was kind of like a wink, wink, nod, nod kind of a moment. That's what I got. That's my impression of it. I mean, it works inside the multiverse kind of idea, right? So, anyhow, that's my thought on that. Like I said, I think I liked every minute of Spider-Man. I just thought there was too many of those minutes. And then the obnoxious psychopathic teenagers did not help me appreciate that experience. I would have enjoyed the movie a lot better had it not been the psychopathic teenagers. However, I still think it's too long. The movie's too long. Yeah, are they now? I'm confused between Max and Cinemax. Yeah, the world of entertainment and who owns what tends to be very, very confusing about who owns what and all that. Oh yes, on the studios videos. Yeah, so I need to go back and do some more of that. So the other big shoot I had this week was I got to shoot with. I think I can say it. We're deep enough in the stream now. I can say it. It's kind of under wraps, but the lady I work with kind of revealed it on Facebook, so I'm like, whatever. So I got to work with Dean Norris, who is, if you guys watch Breaking Bad, he was on a couple of things, right? Or he was on that show. So he owns a cafe in my town. He actually owns a cafe and an acting school. And so the city wanted to use him in like the last part of their video. So I was like super nervous because like this is Dean Norris. He obviously has been around legitimate filmmakers, not just little guys, streaming out of their office space like me. So I got there. We were filming at his cafe. I got there kind of early. I wanted a patio seat, and they closed around 1:45. They closed a little early, and the shoot was supposed to be at 2:00. So it was kind of over cloudy. It was started off overcast, and I knew the sun was going to come out because the weather report said by 2:00 the sun will be out. So I wanted to try out this new. I have a flag system that I bought. I never used these flags before, and I've never had the opportunity to use them. But now I had an opportunity to use the flag, and it has this nice little silk flag on it. So I just used that to create some shade on him. And I set up the slider that I was going to use, just create a little slider shot. And sure enough, damn it, the slider pin is slightly smaller than the tripod receptacle. So the tripod maybe like, I don't know, maybe it's like a 1/4 inch versus like 1/4 inch versus 3/8 inch. It was so annoying, and so I was trying to figure out how to get to it. I finally devised a way to like switch the plates around so the plate I got it to work, but it annoyed the crap out of me. Do the whole thing. This Dean Norris is super down to earth. Like he's cool. He's just he just likes to hang out with us and talk to us and just chill. He's and then on camera, he's an actor. He knows what he's doing. Like the line is, you ain't dreaming, kid. You're in Temecula. That's the line. And he delivered it perfectly. Like I did 2 takes because I didn't trust myself on the focus. And that's it. To do a wide shot and then do a close-up shot. Good enough. So super easy. We were done with him like in 20 minutes after, I was there for a couple hours. But, we got his stuff done really quickly. Really, he was in and out real quick. But he just hung out with us and talked to us for a while. Then I think after the shoot, they all went across the street to the bar and hung out at the bar. Like him and his cafe workers. Like hung out at the bar across the street for a while. But the thing with him is he kind of looks like an average Joe. So no one gets like idea that he's like super famous or anything like that. Anyhow. Let's see here. Here we go. Let's got a comment come through. Oh, we're gonna miss Pube Modification Center constantly badgering me and misspelling my name. Cinemax's parent company, HBO is the owner and owner is Warner Brothers Discovery. HBO's parent company is Warner Brothers Discovery. They both under Warner Brothers. Learn something new every day. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? It's like it's crazy to like figure out. Like I thought Discovery. I didn't know Discovery is owned by Warner Brothers as well. It's not get confused because Discovery. Yeah, I guess maybe they originally weren't owned by, but Warner Brothers might have bought them. But yeah, I thought Discovery was kind of independent, but maybe Warner Brothers folded them in. It's confusing because Nat Geo, you'd think that would be more related to Discovery, but it's not. Nat Geo is now Disney owned. My God, it's confusing. Can we agree that Mayor of Kingstown is one of the worst trailers? Something about Renner saying, amazing, thank you, to a car phone doesn't really grab me. I have not even seen the trailer of that Mayor of Kingstown. Not familiar with that at all. Let's kind of Google it real quick and see what. Yeah, don't know what that is. The show I've been watching, my friend got me on this, Joe. What is the show called Silo on Apple? And I gotta say, I really dig it. I think it's pretty cool. Now, if you don't want any spoilers, obviously don't Google anything about it like I did. But I kind of think with shows like that, it's okay to have a little bit of spoiler just to know where the direction of the show is going to go. Because also you don't know. It's based on a series of books. It started with a book called Wool. And so Silo is basically about this society where all they did was they grew up inside this 150-story underground bunker. They call it the silo, right? And then and outside the silo is a poisonous atmosphere. You go outside, and if you do something really terrible, you're a murderer or something, they'll send you outside to clean the camera that's out there. So there's a camera that looks on the world, and you got to go up there and you go out there and clean it. And then usually they go out and clean it, and then they die. So it's a fascinating show. It stars Rebecca Ferguson. Who's I would say spends some time looking very dressed down, but she's a remarkable actor. I mean, I really like her. I liked her since she was in the Mission Impossible movies, right? She's also done like the Greatest Showman, where she was the lady, this opera singer, I forget her name, Lind or something Lind, and she's in Dune as the mom in Dune. But yeah, Silo is. I gotta say, I think Apple is probably one of the more consistently good streaming services, and they seem to be a good home for sci-fi, like For All Mankind and The Foundation were two very interesting sci-fi shows on Apple Plus. They may not get like a ton of like press, but they're definitely they create very solid shows. And the Silo, I think I would classify as definitely very solid. I'm not sure it's not like you love the show, but it's very, very well done. It's just a very well done show. I would definitely highly recommend getting Apple. I mean, it's actually on one of the cheaper streaming platforms, right? It's like $8 a month or something like that. It's very affordable, but Silo is definitely worth watching. Yeah, Rebecca Ferguson's my favorite since Mission Impossible. Yep. Yeah, she really is a good. She's really good at being a good actress. I mean, duh. She's really good at her performances are really good, and she's got a very model-esque look. Although in Silo, they do kind of dress her down and make her look sort of not butch, but very. They take away her femininity, but they do that in a way that also so they can show you like here she is without her femininity, and here she is with her, because they will do that, like before. I don't want to say more about the plot. Before there's a murder that happens, before the murder, and then after when she becomes like the sheriff. So it's very interesting. About to watch Dune for the first time. Which Dune are you talking about, John Rando? There's at least 3 different versions, right? That we can. I'm assuming you mean the Denis Villeneuve version, which is pretty good. I can't wait. I really can't wait till to see the next one. Yeah, I can wait. I mean, I gotta wait, right? Anyhow, all right. The most recent one, yeah, there you go. It's pretty good. I liked it. I definitely liked it. Again, I like a lot of stuff, but I thought it was the most. It felt the most like I understood the story, where the story was going, and I understood sort of why it was important. Whereas I felt like the oh, my nose is itching. The why can't I think of his name? You know, the white hair rooster hair guy. I love this guy's work. Dang it, my brain cannot function. I've had too much hot chicken. Anyhow, the one from the '80s. Why can't I think of his name? Chat, you got to help me out. What is his name? The director. All right, don't make me Google it. What's his name? The chat's like slapping me. David Lynch. Come on. The David Lynch version was a little bit too goofy, and I didn't get the epicness. It didn't get the I didn't get the right vibe from that movie. It felt too wild and weird, whereas the Villeneuve version feels like an actual epic. Yeah, Dune is the only movie I'm anticipating to see Walken as Christopher Walken as the Emperor. That's pretty cool. The I'm definitely hyped for Barbenheimer. Barbenheimer is, I've been telling all my friends, and people laugh at me. But like, why are you laughing at me? I'm serious. I'm going to see Barbieheimer, the double feature, because that's going to be the most epic, seriously, the most epic cinematic experience of the summer. Is Barbie movie and Oppenheimer, back to back. Barbieheimer. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be wickedly awesome. So, yeah, Barbenheimer, and then I think Mission Impossible, right? Because Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise is kind of pissed off at Oppenheimer for taking all the IMAX screens. So he's like, you need to see Mission Impossible in IMAX, and I get that Oppenheimer out of there and put my movie in there. I don't know when they're exactly, when they're going to play it. David Lynch, too weird? That's funny. Yeah, it's true. I mean, David Lynch wasn't the right fit for that movie. It just didn't feel right, you know? David Lynch, I love me some David Lynch, the trilogy, or the best, Blue Velvet, Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, and I'm sure there's another one I'm forgetting in there. Have I seen Wild at Heart? I think I saw Wild at Heart once. But yeah, those three, maybe Blue Velvet, Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, Pete Lynch. Chef's kiss. Anyhow. Tubular. What time is it? 5 o'clock. I've been on here for an hour, I think. Yeah. All right. Well, kind of a slow day here. What else can we talk about? What are you guys watching? What do you recommend? I know a couple of recommendations last week, but I haven't gotten around to seeing. Has anyone seen that Sesu movie? Or I feel there's a Mad Heidi. John Rando says they tried to show us David Lynch Dune in high school, but everyone hated it and turned it off. Yeah, I get it. I saw that Mad Heidi was playing. It's a 2022 action horror movie. Isn't Mad Heidi wasn't that a joke in one of the Grindhouse movies? But it's actually made it, huh? I mean, it looks kind of fun. I'll be honest. So my friends are having a movie night tonight, but we don't know what we're gonna watch. And so we've finishing off. They ran through the entire Neil Breen series. I only watched I watched 4 of the 5 Neil Breens, and we're waiting for Cade to come out. But we subjected to 4. I subjected myself to 4 of the 5 Neil Breens. Some of them are amazing. I gotta admit. But I don't know what we're watching. I doubt we're watching Mad Heidi, but Ooh, there you go. I was going to apply for my grant this coming week, I believe, development grant. Sweet. Well, good luck on that. I saw Into the Spider-Verse. It was ADD ad trip. Not bad. Yep, I agree. Left Hand Puppetry says, I watched Air, my recommendation, although there was some good moments, it overall felt like a 90-minute advertisement. That's too bad. I didn't get that because maybe I just don't care about Nikes that much. I thought it was more interesting story between the different people and the actors. What else? Let's see here. Anything else you guys watch? I'm trying to think of other stuff. I was going to say, so we watched. That's not Anna de Armas, is it? Mad Heidi. It looks like Anna de Armas, but it's not. It's Alice Lucy. What else? Oh, my nose is going crazy here. It's all that nose candy I've had already. As you know, I love me some nose. That Mad Heidi girl does look like Anna de Armas. It's crazy. All right. Umbrellas of Schoenberg. There you go. There's another one. I need to see that movie. I haven't watched that yet. I haven't watched a lot of stuff yet. I need to actually sit down. Usually the day I watch the most movies usually ends up being Christmas Day. I remember last Christmas I ended up watching like 6 movies. I'm trying to think about where was my mom? Yeah, I don't remember. Huh. I thought my mom was there with me. I don't remember. God, that's kind of scary. I don't remember where my mom was on Christmas Day. I remember I watched like 6 movies. Crazy. I don't know what's going on in my brain. Totally going crazy. I don't know. My mind is right now kind of mushy. Let's see here. I was going to say something. I forgot what I was going to say. You're watching a man basically lose his mind on stream right now. That's not good. Anyhow, what else is going on? What's going on? Or else I'm going to head out and do something else here. Now, what? Oh, that's what it was. So, what are movies? I was trying to think what else movies I saw this week. So I watched something else, and I don't remember what it was. I'm sorry, guys. I'm totally out of it. Anyhow. So, that's what I was going to say. That was my story I was going to tell you. All right. So, I got an email from one of my students this last week, and it was very nice. It was a little thank you letter to for the class that he took part of. And I was reading it, and I thought, this is so sweet. This kid wrote this. And then I kind of got to the middle of it, and I thought, was this written by ChatGPT? And the funny thing is, this student, at one point during the class, tried to submit a ChatGPT assignment to me, which is so really funny, because the assignment he submitted to my class was actually by accident, because he meant to send it to another class. But he happened to have my class open at the time, and so he pasted in this ChatGPT. And the reason I knew it was a ChatGPT submission was because it said halfway through, I am a automated chat robot, and I am not allowed to have opinions on the matter. So I cannot completely give you an opinion on the statement. But so literally, the thing he submitted to me did say it was ChatGPT. So anyhow, I got this email, and I was reading halfway through, and I'm like, that reads like ChatGPT. And it gets to the point where it's like, I have learned a lot about web design, and like, you didn't learn any web design in my class. So I don't know. You might have ChatGPT this thank you letter, which, you know what? I appreciate the sentiment, at least. So there you go. That's what I'm on. I appreciate the sentiment. So you can watch Umbrellas of Schoenberg and Kentucky Moonshine by the Ritz Brothers. There you go. Speaking of chats, I think rewatching these streams is more fun when you save the chat. How do you? Am I doing something wrong where I have to save it? I have to click on something to save it, because I thought it usually saves it. Like usually it doesn't always just keep the chat. Like chat, there's a live chat replay. I've got that checked on. Shows the original message sent anytime someone watches the video recording of your live stream. So it should be there. Yeah, it should be on saved. But I try to put them on screen as well because I know some people don't like to watch that. You like the backdrop? That's what's it called? Midjourney. Did John Wick 4 skip theaters? And I thought John Wick 4 came out like last year, right? Or a couple years ago, maybe. So I remember seeing people talk about it, and I thought it was kind of meh. Or no, John Wick 3. John Wick 4 is on theaters now. In fact, I got in theaters right. I've got 2 theaters near me that they're showing it. Well, it came out when did it come out? John Wick 4 came out what time? March. It came out in March. March 24th in the United States, March 6th in London. Cost $100 million, made $432 million already. There you go. That's a good question. Do you have to watch the other 3 to enjoy it? I don't think I've seen 4. But I know what you're saying, but I think John Wick tends to be one of those you gotta watch like a bunch. You gotta watch the previous ones. It's not like James Bond where you can just step in James Bond almost anywhere. Although the last James Bond was kind of hard to get if you didn't really been following. I don't know. I don't know if the last James Bond is necessarily a good example of that. But I think the first one is really good. I don't know if I care about the other 2. I've seen the first 3. John Randall says, I've seen the first 3. I don't like them really. Mindless entertainment, no story. There you go. But he says you do have to kind of watch the previous ones. So there you go. Yep. All right. Well, I think we'll probably end it pretty soon. Any last minute comments before I go off and do something else? I don't know. My brain's sort of just like I said. I just feel so fried. I don't know. Maybe it's just this weird summer. I'm looking up Milo Moire. It's an erotic interactive installation. Wait, the hell? Oh, she's a Swiss pornographic film actress. That's why that picture is so much skin. I'm looking up the cast of Mad Heidi. That's what I'm doing. Although, yeah, that Alice Lucy looks just like Anna de Armas in the right angle. Anyhow, that's enough of that. Do you plan on watching movies in the upcoming? I'm not going to pay for Apple goggles. These goggles do nothing. I can't afford these goggles. They do nothing. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch movies in the Apple goggles. I don't even think I could wear them because of my glasses. Like I have the Oculus, and I paid like $90 to get subscription little glass pieces put into the Oculus so I could use them because I can't see with glasses on them. Yeah, speaking of Al or AI, Ted Kaczynski just died. Yep, I heard about that. 81 years old. I don't think anybody will miss him, but I don't know. I guess if you were reevaluating his manifesto, it's like, hey, he's not wrong. What's the top 2 movies you've seen in the past couple months? Gosh, I haven't seen that many movies. The Wedding Singer, just because I saw it very recently, and I thought there was a lot of cute stuff in it. It's got a very hokey ending, but there are elements of The Wedding Singer I really love. Was Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore is so damn cute in that movie. It's ridiculous how cute she is, and she obviously has a very natural chemistry with Adam Sandler, and to the point where it doesn't feel like they're just. It's not chemistry because they're on screen together. It's like they legitimately look like they would be a couple. They have a really the way they interact was so well done. The ending is such a, it's like, let's get the fuck out of here ending for that movie. Let's see. You know, I didn't, like I said, I didn't hate Spider-Verse. Those are the top movies I can think of off the top of my head, though. That's the problem. I can't think of anything else. I mean, going back, maybe Mario movie was like, wow. I liked Mario movie a lot. I don't know if I loved it, but I really liked it a lot. I'm trying to think of other movies. So I've been so terribly, my mind's so bad right now. I mean, I think the best series, something like maybe Dune. I really enjoyed the hell out of that. Anyhow, I don't know how to get out of this funk. This is so weird. I just gotta throw myself into something. A project. Maybe write another studio's article. Finish one of the videos. Things I've been working on. I don't know. It's bad. Roger says, I've been watching Cheers on Pluto lately, and there's one episode I watched where if they switched to a non-main bar cam, it was all super dark and it looked like rushes or something. You know what's weird? This happened on Apple with Ted Lasso a lot. The last season of Ted Lasso. And I read that I think it was something to do with the ACES, or not ACES, but HDR implementation of Adobe. And it was so weird because they would be in the same room and one angle would definitely look darker than the other angle. First you're like, maybe they're just making it so like one angle is like a little more of in shadow. But then after a while you start realizing that no, that angle is not properly like adjusted for HDR. Something's going on with this thing. And I don't think they ever fixed it. It just, the whole season had scenes in it where one person was like nice and bright and the other angle for the other person was dark as heck. And it kept going back and it's like, what the hell? So bizarre. So I don't know, maybe that's what happened with Cheers, is that maybe there might be, well, I mean, it could also be that the fact that one, the non-bar cam was super dark because it was poorly made. Or it could be like a weird implementation of HDR that it just screwed it up or something. I don't know. I never saw Charlie's Angels, man. I tell you. But Drew Barrymore in Wedding Singer is dangerously cute. Like really freaking dangerously cute. So just to tell you my little side story here. I saw the play is a little different than the movie. But there's one girl that played the sister of the main character, and I think she's super cute and attractive. So I just sent her a text saying I thought she stole the show. I honestly did, because like she had the best parts and she got to do all the funnier lines. She had to do the funny dancing and the good dance, the sexy dancing. There's one part in the show where it's all 80s based and she's like dancing and she's doing like the flash dance thing where she gets on the chair and she arches her back and pulls the rope. And the audience is like, oh, that's great. That's funny. And then at the very end of the show, they said, guys, something happened. You didn't see the effect. We got to do the real thing now. So they bring the chair back up and she does the thing. She pulls the rope and then the water comes from the ceiling and splashes her. And it's like, wow, we didn't realize we missed that until the very end, because after the bows, they said, yeah, you missed this water effect. Is really, but yeah, no, she was really good. I don't know if she's single, but I don't think she's going to go for me. But I just wanted to say to her, she stole the show and was really, really good. I really liked her, and I played another show with her as a lead as well, and she was really good in that one too. So anyhow, that's me being a complete nerd. I read news articles. Arnold Schwarzenegger revealing his father was a Nazi in the upcoming Arnold documentary coming out on Netflix. Very abusive guy. Yeah, Arnold's kind of getting hammered recently for some of the stuff he's been saying. I love ruining Coronation Street for my mother. Dead basic shot, reverse shot conversation. And ends in the opposite shoulder line break. It was delightful. Oh, there you go. There was one thing that's worth watching for is the breaking the line when you do a shot, reverse shot conversation, a basic one. Like that, like what you're saying. When you do over the shoulder line break, like that, it can be useful for creating like sudden tension. I know I was watching the very first. I was trying to evaluate this. The very pilot episode of Mad Men. And they do that sort of thing, almost sort of. What they do is basically it's a shot reverse shot, but two people having a conversation on a couch, like me, person here having a conversation. But they always stayed on this side of the edit line, right, until the final reveal, and then boom, they went behind them, broke the line, and it's sort of like it's subtle, like you don't get. It's not like abusive. It's not like hit you over the head with it, because you're so used to geography, seeing the two people. But it's subtle when they flip it like that, and it's like, oh wow. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it wasn't Arnold, but he said a few things that kind of pissed off the supporters recently. Not about Nazis, but about like your freedoms and afterlife and stuff like that. She went for Tom Green. She'll go for you. There you go. That's true. I'm not as funny as Tom Green or as lanky. I'm definitely much more older. I think I would probably suit well for women who have father or daddy issues. I think, unfortunately, I don't know. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, what the frick do I need to do? Well, I think one thing is I need to get out of the house. I can't just expect to like get dates sitting in my house watching Silo and trying to figure out how to get my Dropbox transfers to go faster. But what am I gonna do? Whatever. That's the way it is. I'm in a weird situation. It's amazing these streams. So I've literally slew your freedom. Oh yeah. Oh, slew your freedom. Yeah. That kind of pissed people off. Anyhow, these streams are weird, and I've literally talked nonstop for about an hour and 15 minutes. This is like my therapy session, I guess, or just where I rub my nose and I try to think of the name of the director who made that thing. Yeah, it's David Lynch. But no. So I think what's going on with my head right now is that I know I've got some big projects on the horizon. I know they're coming. I know it. And so I don't want to do anything right now because I know those big projects are looming like a cloud. They're coming toward me. They're going to come and they're going to crash on me. So I don't know. I don't know if I can't enjoy this downtime because I feel like I need to do something, but I should enjoy it, but I don't want to enjoy it. My brain is just not going to go well. Not doing well. I had a nice Netflix binge, but I don't like stuff on Netflix. Apple TV, maybe, but not Netflix. In this case, it's two people talking at a table. One leaves, and the new person sits down, and new conversation plays out. The second conversation is shot the opposite shoulder as the first. So maybe it was a one-line reshoot, and they just set it up that way. Yeah, maybe. So in theory, though, what they'll teach about like breaking the line is that the line isn't always established. Like you can move the line. Like if an actor gets up and walks away, you essentially establish a new line. When you bring in another person, you have a new line, a new action line, right? So there's ways to move lines around. And another way of doing it is to move the camera. So if the camera moves, behind the actors, then you have a different. You're not breaking any line because you moved. You've picked up that line, you moved it around. So yeah, I agree. Though you might have a question that maybe they just did the one line reshoot and it just worked out, but they decided they wanted to create a little different thing or something like that. So yep. Wing It got pissed me off. Oh, was that Slew Your Freedom thing? Yeah, as I said, he's getting in a lot of trouble with a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, not that the Republicans really support Arnold much anymore, but I don't think anybody's in love with Arnold. Well, I still like to make fun of his voice, so there you go. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up here pretty soon, guys. Unless you guys have anything else to say, continue on my dreadful, terrible therapy session. I don't know. Oh, you're almost done with Northern Exposure. Been watching that in my car. It's you gotta be careful with that. Don't be driving when you're watching stuff. It's a recipe for disaster. You ever watch a show and you like rest your eyes and you're like, oh crap, I missed a bunch. Like, I can, it's late and I mean, close my eyes, but like, there's some shows you can close your eyes and not miss anything, but there's some shows you close your eyes, you're gonna miss a lot. So, while parked, Rigel reminds us, yes, parked is important. Oh yeah, watch subbed anime. Yeah, that's just, the subtitles are the worst, right? Because you can't watch a show in the background if it's subtitled. Obviously. Hey, Bullet Science, how you doing? I haven't seen you here. I was about getting ready to get off, and now you're here, so I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. What's on your mind, Bullet? Like Love is War, or like Squid Game. Squid Game was pretty rough. You couldn't watch that in the background. But I didn't like Squid Game. I'm one of the people that didn't. But John Rando says Succession just ended. I need to watch Succession. I guess I haven't watched it. What's my favorite series finale? Oh, good question. Hopefully my nose stopping. I gotta go through a list of all the different series finales because I haven't watched Breaking Bad. I'm the one person on the planet Earth, my friend said, that hasn't seen Breaking Bad. So I've watched like the first couple episodes. I didn't get into it, so I didn't follow it. If you really want to go back to it, it's probably Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think that was like an actual series finale that was a series finale that ended well. Barry had a pretty good finale. I liked the ending of Barry. I know a lot of people thought the ending was a little too... I thought a lot of people thought that season 4 of Barry was a little too bleak. I liked Barry. I really did. I thought the ending was appropriate. And it felt like it ended very logically and very... I won't say any more about it. But I thought Barry ended well. It actually ended. It landed... It ended. It did say like, oh, let's just have this... Leave it open for more series. Yeah, dude, Breaking Bad is great. Yeah, I agree. I probably is. I just haven't. So I watched the first couple episodes and I didn't care for it, or I mean, it didn't feel. I didn't feel hooked right away. So I was like, well, I'll come back to it eventually. So that's why. At the same time, with the Man High Castle too. Not that I'm not bashing these shows. I'm just saying the first few episodes didn't hook me. So I don't. If I don't get hooked in the first couple episodes, I just don't carry on with it. Not that it's not a bad show. And I understand Breaking Bad also takes a while to get going. Like the second season and such when it really hit in the stride. What other shows can we think of that had good finales? I never watched Sopranos either, but I know the ending. But I never finished Mad Men. I know the ending where he's sitting around with a bunch of hippies thinking about Coke. I want to buy the world of Coke. Yeah, Sopranos Sopranos. I just know the ending. It's really pretty good. We're not going to talk about Game of Thrones ending. I think the ending was correct, but it did like flash forward to the ending. I think the ending of Game of Thrones is logically the way it should have ended, but it was sloppy getting there. I just finished Ted Lasso. I thought the ending was decent. It is okay. It sort of landed. The problem with Ted Lasso the last season was it has a pretty good beginning, very bad middle. Like the middle is just terrible, and then the ending lands. So it feels like the beginning and end were written, and then the middle was the filler. And oh, hey, Matthias, you're here. See, you thought the exact opposite, She-Hulk. Okay, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna bust your balls for She-Hulk. That had an interesting ending. Yeah, yeah. You're probably familiar with my opinion of She-Hulk. I love the remastered version of Next Generation. They did a great job, rescanned the whole foot. Yeah, I know. 4 years and to do 7 seasons. Yeah, but TNG still holds up really well, though. That's the thing, It's a very well done show. Game of Thrones ending made no sense. I think it makes sense in the philosophy of where they're going with the whole thing. It just sorts of leaps ahead in certain. My friend describes it just flashes ahead. Like once it would take, how long would it take an army to actually march all through Westeros? It's like, they did it in Dissolve and just jumped right to the quick. Matthew says, on serious note, while flawed, when it comes to Aang's conclusion, I still love Sozin's Comet, the finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's another thing. I gotta watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. Trying to think of another show that ends real well that I liked. I don't remember the ending of like The Office or Parks and Recreation. It's funny about that. I spent a lot of time on those shows. I don't remember them very well. Huh. That's crazy. I said, yeah, probably Barry to me. Anything else? I'm going to wrap it up here pretty soon. I got to go to my friend's house here. Alrighty. Well, I've been on here for an hour and a half. I think that's a good place to end it here. All right. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to try to get my head out of my butt. I'll see if I can do that. I don't think it'll happen, but we will see in the next couple of weeks. Maybe I can finish up some of these videos that I've constantly been saying I'm going to make, but I haven't actually made it. So, yep. As a certain expression says, peace out. We'll see you. I'll be back next week. We'll hang out and we'll chat then. See you guys later. Bye-bye. Fade to black.